And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vasel.
Hey folks, today we're taking a look at Animals on Board, another Noah's Ark game. Now, I traditionally have had some pretty lame experiences with Noah's Ark games, but in this game, you're not Noah, okay? You're like Jared down the street, who's also building an ark. And Noah is just being a pain in the neck, apparently, because Noah has made some law that no one else can take pairs of animal, only Noah. It's a ridiculous theme, it really is. But we got kind of a kick out of it because when we're playing a game, I'd be like, yeah, I'm Frank and I'm here to get animals, and you know, low budget ark this way. Okay, so the theme is silly and ridiculous and crazy, but is the gameplay any good? Well, it uses something I like, which is the I split, you choose mechanism. What is that? I'll show you. Beginning of the game, each player is going to get their own ark here, which is essentially a rack for tiles. It can hold 10 tiles. Each player is also going to get a food and a passing flag. Players are going to start the game by drawing 3 tiles. They're going to choose one to keep. Let's say I keep this one here, placing it in their tray. Now, just so you know, there are many different animals in the game. The animals are numbered from 1 to 5. The other 2 are placed in the middle of the table, along with a bunch of other tiles. It depends on the number of players. So this is for a 4-player game. There will be 12 face-up tiles, and there will be 1 face-down tile. One player starts the game, and on your turn you have 2 options. One of those options is to split the animals into groups. So this is one big group of 13. I might say I'm going to split this into a group of 5 and 8. When you split something into a group, you get a food added to your total. You can split... I could do this. I could split off just the turtle by himself. And again, I'm going to get 1 food when I do that. You can split any way you want. So maybe I want to split these 2 off in their own group. Or maybe I want to split these 3 here and this one down here. But you always have to split a group into smaller groups, and you can't combine groups. I can't say this giraffe's going to go over and join this turtle. No, this turtle is by himself, and that's the way it is. Instead of splitting a group, you can buy a group, and to do that you simply pay food equal to the number of animals. So maybe I want these 2 pandas. I would pay 2 food, take these pandas, and put them on my ark. Once I put the pandas on my ark, I will also put my passing flag in there to show that I'm done and that I can't take any more tiles this turn. The first person to pass is going to get the toucan flag, which means they'll go first in the next round. Each player will continue to do this. When you take this tile, you don't show anyone, but you get it. Ooh, it's a 1 zebra. And players are going to be taking these. When everyone but one player has taken them, that player must then take 1 action by either splitting again to take a food or by paying food and taking a group. And then you start the next round. You will keep doing this until one person has gotten 10 or more animals, in which case everyone needs to discard down to 10 animals, and then you score. So let's say these are the animals I had in my ark at the end of the game. The first thing you do is you take any animals that you have a pair of. So you see I have a pair of rhinos, and they're gone. I have a pair of hippos, and they're gone. If you have 2 of an animal, they're gone. You cannot have that. They're worth nothing. If you have 1 animal, they're worth the points on it. So I have 1 plus these 2 are 5. If you have a herd of animals, which is 3 or more of an animal, the most you can have is 5 because there's only 5 of each animal. They're worth 5 each. So I have 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 26 points plus 1 point for each leftover food. So let's say I had 1 leftover food. I would have 27 points. Whoever has the most points is the winner of the game. I am very, very impressed with this game. This is one of those games that I started playing it, and as soon as the rules were explained, I said, wow, I like it, before I even played it, because the concept of it is just that much fun. Essentially, you sit there and you split, and when you split, at the beginning, you have a lot of options, but you're sitting there thinking, how am I going to split this so I'm not helping you, but I am helping me? Like, for example, let's say I'm the first player in the first turn. I could split 2 animals off. That gives me 2 food. It gives me 1 food, so I will have 2 food total because I start with 1 food. It goes around the table. When it comes back to my turn, I can buy those 2 animals. So I can guarantee that I'm going to get those 2 animals. Well, not really, because the next player could be like, hey, that 2 group you made, I'm splitting it into 2 groups of 1. Well, now you can buy 1 of those animals, but it's maybe not as good as the 2. And so there's just that option there where you're sitting there going, oh, you made that group? Yeah, I'm splitting it. And then I'm going, ha ha ha, I never wanted that group to begin with. And then there's one of the tiles is face down. And so you're like, well, what is that tile? Because 5 tiles are great. You get a 5 tile, it's good. Unless, of course, you get a pair, in which case that 5 tile becomes 0. Getting a lot of the same one is good, but that face down one's gonna bug you. It always bugged me anyway. I'd sit there and go, what is that? That might be better than the other things. How is that split into a group? This game reminded me of another game I like, which is Piece of Cake, which is where you took a cake or pie or whatever it was and split it into groups. But this has just a little bit more beyond that, where you can split these into anything, and then you can split the splits, and then you can split them. And it's not complex, and it's not long. The box here, I believe, says 30 minutes on it. 20 to 30 minutes, and that's very realistic. It's probably gonna, more often than not, take 20 minutes. Well, what a good game in 20 minutes. This game should get a lot of buzz. It's one of the best light games that I've played in this style for a long time, and already, in my opinion, in running for Family Game of the Year, because the animals are cool, there's different artwork on every tile, the concept is easy, the whole thing about if you get a pair, they're gone, is not only a great game mechanism, but hilarious thematically, so highly recommend it. Get this one, Animals on board. Dice Tower Judgment, excellent.
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews, as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find other great shows at Dicetowernetwork.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool stuff in stock. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com.
Shut the door!